Hello there, friends and RC family. My name is Alec from High Noon Hobbies, and this time on the channel, we've got a head-to-head comparison between ScumbagRC and West Desert Wheeler in Class 2, the first course of the first qualifying round in the South for the 2023 North vs. South Utah RC Crawling Championship. If you're new to the channel, I very much appreciate you checking it out. I hope you will stick around, watch at least this video, see if this content seems worth your while, and consider subscribing so that then I can say to you, if you aren't new here, welcome back to yet another Friday upload. This time, like I mentioned in the intro, we are taking a look at two runs from two very competitive drivers, ScumbagRC and West Desert Wheeler. Of course, both of these gentlemen are hosts of this event, so kind of in a competition unto themselves, but nonetheless very fun drivers to watch go through this course. And this was the more difficult of the two Class 2 courses, in my opinion, so this is a very fun one to watch. I hope that you guys can learn as much as I did, or at least maybe a small portion from watching these runs. Before we do that, though, I do want to remind you to go check out the highnoonhobby.com/shop to see all of the 2023 High Noon merch. You can grab one of those awesome items in the shop, and that will help support the channel. All right, that's the only plug I've got, except don't forget the first Northern qualifier, not this weekend, but next weekend, so get your asses out to Little Moab, where we will be doing the first Northern qualifier, and the following week will be the first Southern qualifier at the airport. For all of the information on those events and even more, make sure that you are following the Northern Slut Crawlers versus Southern Crawlers Facebook page. I'll link to that down below. All right, guys, let's just jump straight into these runs. All right, out here at the beautiful Warner/Long Valley. This is an area that Logan stumbled upon during his time down in southern Utah, in a very gorgeous spot. We're starting out here with ScumbagRC, or Luke's run, in the sweet G-Speed V4 chassis, samurai body, painted by Donut Boy RC. If you haven't checked out Donut Boy RC and all of the different paint jobs that he's been doing, not just for this North vs. South series, but for all sorts of different competitors and shelf queens alike, Donut Boy RC throws down some amazing paint jobs, as you can obviously tell here. But Luke really killed it on this build. He always goes above and beyond, and his builds are always very, very gorgeous. But that's not really what we're here to talk about, is it? I just love looking at it. But we are here to look at this first course of the first Southern qualifier on this beautiful Redrock. It's dry. We have traction once again on these rocks, or at least some traction in comparison to what we had at the Sand Hollow Takeover not too long ago with the Slut Crawling crew, as well as the Rock Pirates Bonebox guys. Definitely go and check out those videos. I'll throw a little icon up so that you can check out those, and definitely some interesting videos to watch, but we didn't have the traction that we do in this video here. Luke making quick work of those first four gates now. This fifth gate is really where things start to get tricky. Now, obviously, he made a little rollover mistake off of gate 1, but it didn't really affect him at all. Gate 2, he made a quick bump of it, which is basically the way to do it. Gate 3 was that nasty side hill, and that was the only problem that he had with that is he had to take a reverse to line himself up with the gate. And gate 4 was that nasty V-notch descent, but he was able to clear that no problem, just take his time and match gravity with wheel speed. Now, unfortunately, really the biggest problem with Luke's run here, at least so far, is that he ended up lipoing out right before gate 5. Not sure how that happened. Luke was saying that he thought that he had a charged battery in there, but he knew that one of the batteries batteries that he was running was not fully charged, or one of the batteries that he had in his bag was not fully charged, and as luck or fate would have it, of course, that was the battery that he ended up throwing in here. So an uncharged 850 milliamp is definitely not going to give you much run time, and he ended up lipoing out right here before gate 5. That being said, even with a mechanical +5, he's still only at a +7 here. He's doing very, very well through this course. This is a tough course, not an easy gate on this course yet, and yet he's made every single one of them look easy. That gate 5 was really a doozy and threw a lot of people off. Now this approach here, as you can see, Luke passed that set of cones that is just in the background there. That is gate 6, and Luke is on his way over to the bonus gate, or at least he was attempting to be on his way over to the bonus gate, so he could make his way up and get that -10 on his score. Now he does have to make a big roundabout loop to make his way up back to the ledge and get another shot at this bonus gate once again. Really, the bonus line is this entire line through here, not just the gate itself. Luke going high and making that transition onto this less steep face look really, really easy. That was quite impressive. I think that was a combination of driving skill as well as the side hill ability of this G-Speed V4 chassis. Taking a look here at West Desert Wheeler, also recording this line. Sorry, buddy, I hope that I beat you to putting this out there, but either way, we're always having a good time when we're watching each other run and getting some good recording in. Headed into this gate number 6, this was a very tough gate. That bonus gate was no joke, and now headed into gate 6 here. This is one that makes it look like there's some sort of squaring up to a V-notch, but in reality, you really just have to square up to this face here and try to climb up and over it. The problem is that underhang on the lower section of this face makes it very difficult to clear your bumper and get on the line that you need to get that hook, which Luke showed us right there, and that was a brilliant job, Luke. Honestly, that was a really, really easy. You made that one look easy. Once you get the right angle on gate 6, it's really not a tough climb. It's just getting lined up to it, and Luke did a fantastic job there of lining himself up to it. Getting through gate number 7 here, really just a nasty descent that looks worse than it is, as long as you square yourself up to it and kind of manage your body hang-ups through that odd gap. I saw 3 or 4 different ways to do it, and all of them seemed to work just fine. Luke kind of took one of the more common approaches to it, and it worked out in his favor. Now, running over monster truck in gate number 8 there, that's in the essence of time, because we are running a 6-minute course, not an 8-minute course, a 6-minute course on this first qualifying round. That means that he is running short on time, and he still has 2 more gates to get through now. Flung out of gate number 9, unfortunately at an odd angle, and has to take that reverse. Now he comes at it again at an odd angle, has to take another reverse, but still manages to make it through gate 10 with some time to spare and only a +15 score. Very impressive. Well done, Luke. And now let's jump straight into Logan's Run. Taking a look at this gate number 1 here from a different angle, you can see how easy it would be to flip off of that descent, so such as how Luke did in his run. Logan making that bump on gate number 2 look like an absolute cakewalk. You do have to know how to square yourself up to that bump, and if you don't, you will end up in the gate. You will end up on one of those cones, and Logan truly made that bump look easy. But impressively, so did Luke, even though he's never run this course before. Obviously, all of these gates were set by West Desert Wheeler or Logan himself, as this is his area. He knows the spot, he knows the hard lines, and he actually ended up scouting beforehand and coming out the day beforehand and chalking up all the lines so that we knew where we were supposed to be setting stuff up. Headed through that side hill, same issue that Luke had, and I will mention that Luke went before Logan on this, so the pressure is on Logan to beat Luke's score. Sometimes it's easier to go second because you see how the other person drove. In this case, Logan already knows how to run these gates, and it's just a matter of beating Luke's score now, so the added pressure is on Logan to get through it. We're ending up running into some course competitors here who are just up there at gate number 6, so we're going to take a pause there, and now we are going to restart the time here at gate 5. An interesting coincidence that is the same pause area that Luke took, although Luke took his because of his lipo, Logan took his because of competitors on the course at the same time. But you can see here the same problem that Luke had getting through gate 5. This was a doozy. This was a nasty gate. Now, I will say that rock that you can see, that's kind of a loose rock just off to the rear driver's side, or just off the side of that rear driver tire. That rock was pushed up against the ledge a little bit more at the start of the day for the first few competitors, at least, making it very easy for those competitors as they were not hanging their diff up on that nasty ledge that's hanging out, such as both these competitors that we saw did. Logan taking the safe approach here, deciding to winch through, getting a +6 at this point, so he is still just ever so slightly edging out Luke because of that mechanical and the couple of reverses that Luke had to take. I believe he was at a +7 here, but it's still a very tight race between these two. Now let's see what happens here. Headed into, obviously, just skipping that 6. Logan knows he needs to get this bonus to be able to beat Luke, or put himself in a good position to beat Luke. Unfortunately, he does the same thing, falling off that ledge, a slightly different place. Luke did it past the transition. He kind of got himself a little bit too low on this face, whereas Logan ended up doing it at the transition, which is more what you would expect to see headed into a transition from a very steep wall to a slightly less steep wall. You're going to have that articulation, you're going to have that added stress, and that can definitely make a rig flip over here. So you can see Logan taking his time now, really trying to line himself up, wiggling his servo to get those rear tires a little bit lower to clear over that ledge so that he doesn't have the same issue that he did last time. And now he's got a different issue, which is his rear, or his front tires are so low that he isn't able to get the bite that he needs here. So he takes the same reverse, or a reverse in the same spot that Luke took his reverse, meaning he's now at a +7, and these two competitors are now neck and neck. You can see the approach that Logan takes to get through this gate, though, means that he does not have to take another reverse right before the cones. That was pretty impressive. I thought that was a job well done in terms of approaching that ledge very early, getting that rear axle pushed over, and just knowing your tolerances and knowing the line, and he was able to make it through that no problem without having to take an additional reverse. That being said, we're now on to gate 6, and this is the doozy. He thinks he's got himself lined up and he's got the hook, so he gives it the beans, but it's just a second too early, and unfortunately Logan suffers the consequences of that, hitting the gate that is inside of the crack. The easiest gate to hit. If you slide it all off of that face, you're sliding and you're getting funneled straight into that gate number 6 there, which is quite unfortunate, but you know, that's the way it's going to go. Now, he had afforded himself a -3 because of that bonus gate, but unfortunately, after hitting 6, he is back square at a 7. So he's going in here for the second bonus, but after asking the judge for time and realizing that he really doesn't have the time to take to get his winch set up on that gate and make sure he gets through there cleanly, decides to bail out on the bonus. That being said, the course is not over yet. He still has to make it through 3 more gates, and this is the same situation we started to see arise with Scumbag or Luke, where he was in this situation and he really needed to make it up to gate 8 quickly, and it's a doozy, so he ended up tagging the gate. Same thing here for Logan, but that puts Logan at a +19, which means we already know who the winner is, but we want to make sure that this competitor can get through this course. So now we're headed through gate 9. He makes it through. He's got just a little bit of time left here. Unfortunately, unable to make the clean transition from 9 to 10, but even more unfortunately, tapping gate 10 on the way. Excellent show showcase of driver skills from two very competent drivers. It was a blast watching these guys through the course. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Our final scores here: ScumbagRC with a plus 15 at a 550.51, West Desert Wheeler with a plus 29 at a 544.04. Of course, these are not the official times or scores. This is purely what I tallied up while I was watching this back. I'm not exactly certain if these match up, but I believe that the scores do. I think the times may have been a little bit off there, but I'm not entirely certain how. That being said, I think that Logan was under the impression that he had a bit less time left at the end of that course than he actually had, and because of that, I think he made that hasty decision to plow through gate number 10, ending up hitting that gate and receiving those 10 extra points, creating a bit of a divide there. Besides that, these two drivers are very, very close in this competition. Their driving styles, definitely different approaches, but either way, they were able to get through these courses, or this course, no problem whatsoever. So I hope you guys learned as much as I did, or at least maybe a small amount from this video. If you did, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to High Noon Hobby if you want to see more content like this every single week. But until the next time, I hope that you all enjoy some scale trails, maybe some hard lines, maybe some FPV droning. If you haven't caught that video yet, definitely go take a look at last week's video and you can learn a little bit about how to get into FPV. But until then, we'll see you soon. Cheers.